Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with my Rustler two-wheel drive, and I need to address a couple things because you can tell it's still in pieces, and also from the title. We got the tire that's blown out here, but first, before I do anything with tires, I need to put a new spur gear in. I blew out the other one, so I got another 83 tooth right here. I had a spare 86 tooth, but I want to do the 83. So that's going on. Got two new tires. These are for the rear. Got the right offset. These are black chrome. And while I'm at it, might as well throw these lights on. They made this sometime recently, but can put lights on the rear and the front to replace the ones that are broken. So let's get into it. Alright, well, I got the fronts installed, no problems there, just the 4 screws on the bottom. Routed my wire and ready to go. Put my wires in up here. Gonna do them on separate because I have a switch in there so I can turn off front and rear at the same time or at different times. Ran into an issue with our rear mount. It doesn't fit over my gearbox housing, and this looks a lot beefier. Maybe we'll figure out how to put some lights on this. We'll put that on the other Rustler since it'll fit. Why not? And then we'll figure out front lights. We'll fix these or something. Okay, I got the new wheels on the rear. Put the tire back on the front with the hole. Not gonna worry about that. Should be okay for a while. New lights are on the front. Definitely looks a lot different with that big old Stampede bumper. I'm gonna use that for the other car. I'm gonna put some new lights in that, but we'll save that for an episode on that vehicle. I did figure out what to do for the rear lights because I definitely cannot use these. That's why I'm holding them, but I do have lights on this now. Remember those Ford GT lights? Yep, we're using those again. They got severed off right at the edge of the mounts to the body when I had it mounted to the other body. However, I was able to solder on new wires. Let me pull this off. Soldered those on, run to the old cable, goes down and in. And these turn on and off as well. What I did to get it mounted is I actually used a piece of the windshield from another body and kind of sandwiched it down below the bumper here. So these have some like give and stuff like that. So that's kind of neat. I think that will work. I'm hoping these don't fall off or break again. If they do, well, I'll figure something else out. But I think this will work for a good long while and not get too wrecked. So now I just gotta wait till it gets dark and we can go test all this out. Well, my bash session ended early because my rear lights came flopping off. My little mounting idea I showed you didn't totally work out. But I did figure something else out. Did this off camera again, but I can explain what I did. We're still using the Ford GT lights. So you just need the Ford GT lights and mounting kit. But I found this guy to use, which I have mounted to the wheelie bar. And then this already had holes in it. Well, this is actually a slash body mount. And what I did is I bent it around. I have this side sticking out front. I bent these arms around this way, bend it around, and this way. I did use a little heat on the corners, not too much to manipulate it, to get it bent from this shape to that shape. So you can just see what it looks like. I had to use the longer screws so I could get these bolts on there. That way it would hold on. But those are working. I can just barely get a grip on them. These are not hex holes, so I have to hold a wrench on them, but they're solid in here. I can flip this up if I need to, since they're only screwed on here. But I think that's gonna do the trick. Let me throw on the body real quick. All right, and that's how it looks with the body on. So they're there. They may get hit if I come down right here, but let's get back to bashing and test out to make sure these hold. Not even broken, just screw. Nailed it. Help me. This thing is still amazing. I love that bash session. I almost hit myself a few times, but the car held up really well. The new lights in the front held up perfectly fine. See no difference. Maybe just it hits a little closer, but I actually think it hits on the tires now. The tire with the hole, that held up just fine. Like I said, I'm not worried about that. New rear tires, they're working perfectly fine. Just got to be careful not to hit anything. They look to be glued well, so that's amazing. And the rear lights are still on the car. I think this is the best mounting system I've made up for this car. I will admit the first go in the original video, which I'll put up there, that wasn't my idea. I saw it somewhere else. I just took that idea. But for bashing, that's not going to work out. If I was just street driving or something, yeah, those would work perfectly fine. But for bashing, these were freaking awesome. I can't say anything else. The dirt got in here. I landed on these. There's a little scuffs, but that's about it. The lights still turn on and off. No problems at all. So everything worked out. The only problem I had was I broke this camber link, but everything else holding up. Even the new suspension holding up great. I love the Carolina squat it has on it. I know people might hate that, but it's wheeling a lot cooler, much more manageable, and the landings are much better when I'm bashing and do big jumps, as you saw. In the next video, I'll mount the rear lights that came in the kit, and I actually figured out why that doesn't fit. I have the upgraded transmission that came with this car compared to the other Rustler, so there is a separate lighting thing. I'll put it here that I could have bought, but I think revisiting the Ford GT lights was much better because I like these a lot more, and the other lighting kit we can utilize on the other car. So check that out in a video coming soon, and you'll see how those work out on the rear. So sorry I couldn't do it all in one video, but like I said, those custom lights, much, much better. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know where to leave them. As well, if you could do the buttons over here, I'd really appreciate it, as it helps me out. I thank you all for stopping by today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.